Sister, what brought you here? Hussein took Wang Fu to a green area outside the warehouse. No one was nearby since it was approaching midnight. Can't I come to you for no reason? Wang Fu looked at Hussein ambiguously. Yes, of course, but now it's too late. If you have nothing to say, I should go back to rest. Can we talk next time? Hussein licked his lips and said, What? You are afraid that Ji Yanran might know? Wang Fu had learned a lot about Hussein since she came to Black Hawk, including his girlfriend. Ahem, sister, shall we focus on the business? Hussein asked. Well, last time you left before we could finish. Wang Fu threw him a glance, her charming demeanor making his heart leap. Please continue, Hussein said with a smile. If you want the sacred blood 3-blade harpoon, there is another way. You have an extra sacred blood armor beast soul, don't you? The one you let Meng Meng wear? Shall we trade? Wang Fu said seriously. No. Hussein turned her offer down. A sacred blood armor beast soul was very rare and it could save his life, so he would not trade it for the harpoon. But you have the other sacred blood armor beast soul, and you don't need both. Isn't it perfect that you trade one for a weapon? I could pay you money for the difference and let me know how much you want, Wang Fu advised. I'm sorry, sister. I don't want to trade. Hussein did not hesitate in the slightest way. Wang Fu had mistaken the fairy queen for a sacred blood armor beast soul, and in fact the fairy queen's armor was a bit inferior to a real sacred blood armor beast soul. Hussein would never trade his phantom Anth armor, which was something he could always use in First God's Sanctuary and might still be of some use in Second God's Sanctuary. Furthermore, he had promised Lin Bifeng that he would consider to sell it to Lin first if he wanted to sell. The phantom ant armor was not just practical, but also incredibly glamorous. Although it had the same function as the black beetle armor, its price would clearly be much higher. Think about it. And money is not an issue. Wang Fu still would not give up. She loved the look of that armor. It was not only perfect in terms of the look, but would also protect her on her way to other shelters, which was far more important than a weapon. I don't need money, Hussein said with a smile. He blinked at her, but if you want me, that's okay. Shall we get a room? Quote, how can you get a room on campus? Wang Fu blushed and gave up. She checked her comlink and said to Hussein, think about it and let me know if you want to sell. I must go now. Watching her leave, Hussein grinned. The black and white boxing competition was held on the Skynet. Most people watched directly online and the players were also using the devices at their schools to compete. There was little to see on site. When Shuju arrived at the holographic equipment hall early, and there was basically no one there other than the students from the martial arts department and martial arts society. She set up the camera and was ready to introduce the players when they came in. After that she could switch to the online data and would not need to shoot anymore. She was also the only reporter at Black Hawk, since it was not a popular team and all other media went to the schools that had some chance at winning. When Shuju entered the lounge of the players, part of her reporter's privileges. Suddenly, when Shuju saw Hussein sitting among the martial arts society members, chatting, this guy turns out to be one of the martial arts society members. When Shuju was a bit upset, but since his girlfriend is that pretty, it was also understandable that he did not lead the way. Ignoring Hussein, when Shuju interviewed several players in the first team and a coach of martial arts society, Chen Ling Coach Chen, what do you think of this match? Black and white boxing is a one of Saint Germain's strengths, not to mention Nalan Chen Yuo's fame. What plan or strategy do you have? Wen Shuzhu asked Chen Ling. No plan or strategy needed. Blackhawk will win, period, Chen Ling said casually. Chen Ling's answer made Wen Shuzhu pause. She could not begin to understand Chen's confidence. Because Chen Ling's answer was beyond her imagination, her prepared materials were now useless. And she did not know how to continue. The answer when expected was that Street Germain is a very strong team and Blackhawk will try its best. But Chen Ling threw her off her feet. Wen opened her mouth but could not think of anything to say. I have something to deal with. Wen, would you go interview my players first? Chen Ling saw Wen Shuzhu's look and was amused. Wen Shuzhu was embarrassed and turned to the players. She finally saw Ouyang Xiaosan, who was resting. She hesitated, and first approached Zhu Qian who she had talked to. Hi, Zhu Qian. Do you have any confidence in this game? Quote. Zhu Qian was very easy to talk to and glad to be interviewed. He grinned and said, of course. We will win for sure. Hearing him, Wen felt that the entire team was simply too optimistic. Blind to their weakness, Wen asked a few more questions, and interviewed several other players. The answers she got were all the same. Blackhawk would defeat Street Germain and go to the next round. Mr. Ouyang, I would like to your opinion on Nalan Chengnuo. Wen Shuzhu finally found a chance to interview Ouyang Xiaosan. I don't know him. Ouyang did not even lift his eyes. Wen Shuzhu had no idea that her interviews had caused a debate in Skynet.